Ambassador Vex Thal stretched his forearms in a gesture of supreme confidence as he addressed the assembled Galactic Council. His iridescent scales caught the artificial starlight of the council chamber, each movement calculated to demonstrate the superiority of the Saurian Empire. Honored delegates, his voice resonated through the vast amphitheater. We gather to discuss the quaint proposal from the primitive world called Earth. These bipedal mammals dare request membership in our esteemed council, despite possessing technology barely adequate for interplanetary travel. Murmurs of amusement rippled through the assembled alien dignitaries. The crystalline collective's representative chimed like breaking glass, their species equivalent of laughter. The gas giant dwellers of Kepler 442b released colorful pheromone clouds that translated roughly to how amusing. Vex Thal's serpentine smile widened. Their largest vessel, which they laughably call a destroyer, measures merely 800 meters. Our mining drones are larger. Their fusion technology is millennia behind our antimatter reactors. Most pathetic of all, they still rely on chemical propulsion for atmospheric exit. Captain Elena Vasquez, Earth's sole representative, sat in the designated chair for probationary species, positioned deliberately lower than the full members' elevated platforms. Her dark eyes never left Vex Thal's face as he continued his performance. The humans claim they've unified their fractured world under something called the United Earth Federation, Vex Thal continued, his tone dripping with condescension. Yet their planet still bears scars from their primitive nuclear conflicts. They possess no faster-than-light communication, no quantum manufacturing capability, and their longest recorded peace lasted barely 2 of their centuries. The ethereal collective's ambassador, a being of pure energy contained within a shimmering force field, pulsed with colors that conveyed skeptical inquiry. What military capacity do these humans possess? Military? Vex Thal's scales rippled with mirth. They field approximately 300 vessels across their entire solar system, crude constructions of steel and titanium, powered by primitive fusion drives. Their most advanced weapon systems utilize directed energy, essentially sophisticated flashlights. Their species has never encountered true warfare. He gestured dismissively toward Vasquez. The female claims they've learned from conflict and offer unique perspectives on survival. Survival? Their species nearly extinct itself multiple times through their own incompetence. What could such creatures possibly offer the Council? Vasquez finally stood, her voice steady despite the hostile atmosphere. Ambassador Vex Thal raises valid points about our technological limitations. However, I would submit that underestimating a species based solely on technology has historically proven unwise. Unwise? Vex Thal's laugh was like breaking stone. Child, my species conquered 17 star systems while yours was still discovering fire. The Saurian fleet commands over 50,000 vessels, each capable of sterilizing planets. What possible threat could Earth pose to anyone? That's when the alarms began. The Council chamber's massive viewports, which typically displayed the serene star field around the neutral station, suddenly erupted with brilliant light. Emergency klaxons wailed as automated systems struggled to compensate for the massive energy discharge occurring just beyond the station's perimeter. A technician's voice crackled over the communication system. Council members, we're detecting a massive spatial distortion. Something's coming through. It's enormous. Through the clearing energy storm, a shape emerged that defied the assembled aliens' understanding of human capability. The vessel stretched nearly 15 kilometers from bow to stern, its hull a patchwork of materials and technologies that shouldn't have existed in human space. Massive turrets bristled along its sides, each one larger than most Council members' capital ships. Energy readings spiked beyond the station's sensors' ability to measure. Impossible, Vex Thal whispered, his scales now pale with shock. Humans don't possess ships of this magnitude. Vasquez smiled for the first time since arriving at the station. You're correct, Ambassador. Earth doesn't build ships like this. She paused, letting the massive vessel's presence dominate every screen in the chamber. We build them in the void between stars, where resources are unlimited and time moves differently. The ship's communication array activated, transmitting on frequencies that penetrated every shield and defensive system in the sector. Admiral Sarah Chen's voice filled the council chamber, calm and professional despite commanding humanity's most devastating creation. Galactic Council Station. This is Admiral Chen aboard the UEF Retribution. We've been monitoring this session and found the discussion illuminating. Vex Thul's voice cracked with disbelief. Your species lacks the industrial capacity for such construction. You're thinking too small, Ambassador, Vasquez replied. While you focused on our planetary infrastructure, we built shipyards in asteroid belts, fusion forges in the hearts of gas giants, and manufacturing complexes in the outer darkness where no one thought to look. This ship represents 3 decades of hidden construction. The Retribution's weapon systems came online, each activation registering as a discrete nuclear explosion on the station's sensors. Energy readings climbed to levels that made the Council's own defensive fleet look like toys. The Saurian Empire commands 50,000 vessels, Admiral Chen's voice continued. Impressive. The Retribution was designed to engage 50,000 vessels simultaneously. Its primary armament utilizes controlled antimatter cascades technology we developed by studying wreckage from Council conflicts. Its shields can absorb the combined firepower your entire fleet. Its hull incorporates materials harvested from neutron star surfaces. The Council chamber had fallen completely silent, except for the gentle hum of life support systems. But our greatest advantage, Chen continued, isn't technological. It's psychological. Every human aboard this vessel grew up hearing stories of civilizations that thought themselves invincible. We learned about hubris from species who no longer exist to share those lessons. Vex Thul's forearms trembled as the implications sank in. You built this in secret specifically to counter Council capabilities. We built this because history taught us that peace is maintained through strength, Vasquez said quietly. Every human child learns about the empires that fell because they believed their own propaganda about being invincible. We don't make that mistake. The massive warship began moving, its engines creating spatial distortions that made nearby asteroids shift course. Despite its enormous size, it maneuvered with impossible grace. The United Earth Federation requests Council membership, Admiral Chen announced. We offer advanced defensive technologies, unique strategic perspectives, and a proven track record of learning from conflict. We also offer protection to Council members from external threats. She paused, letting her words sink in. What we don't offer is patience for species who mistake technological arrogance for wisdom. The chamber remained silent for long moments before the ethereal collective's representative pulsed with colors, indicating formal recognition. The Council recognizes Earth's petition for membership, the energy being announced. All in favor? Every delegation raised their equivalent of hands. As the Retribution settled into orbit around the Council station, Vasquez couldn't help but smile at Vex Thul's shocked expression. Sometimes the best diplomacy came from demonstrating that you didn't need it. The sky had indeed split open, revealing that humans had been listening all along.